Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the Valley International Airport Board and staff, family and guests. I am, if you haven't guessed, it's on Oregon. Harlingen is my hometown. I'm a graduate of Harlingen High, class of 1954. I'm the youngest son of Colonel John R. Morgan, who we are here to honor today. I would like to acknowledge those people who have made it possible to recognize a man who significantly contributed to the progress of flight, defense of the United States, and a gem of an airport. The first is the Director of Aviation, Marv Esterman. Marv was gracious and thoughtfully considered the project that I envisioned. He researched the internet and collected the information he needed to take the proposal to the board, and thankfully they also thought it was a worthy project. So thank you, Marv. Today, Colonel Morgan and Marv are connected as the alpha and omega of those who were and are now overseeing the operations of this airfield. I think that's pretty cool. I thank the board chairman and all the board members along with Marv for your support. I want to thank Toby Mendez, who created the sculpture we're about to unveil. Toby is a world-class sculptor who has his bronze artwork displayed across the nation. Unfortunately, Toby couldn't be here for this dedication because of commitments to his next project. Finally, I thank my family who have supported this project and contributed stories and memories to my recollections, and am grateful that so many could join us this weekend. Now about our honoree. Colonel Morgan was born in a log home near New Martinsville, West Virginia in 1893. He grew up on a farm and learned the self-sufficiency and work ethic that was required of a farm boy at the turn of the century. His military registration card, signed in 1916, listed his occupation as farmer. When he joined the Army 4 September 1917, after the U.S. entered World War I. A turning point in Dad's Army life came when his unit was assembled and the first sergeant announced the Signal Corps Aviation Section was looking for volunteers to become aero pilots. Having already become proficient at shoveling out the stables on his farm, he felt he didn't need any more practice with the horse artillery. So he volunteered. He was sent to Princeton University for his ground training, then to Arkansas for his primary flight training, and finally Love Field in Dallas for his advanced flight training. It was during this time, flying the JN-4, or Jenny, that he discovered two things. He loved flying and the military life. During the early years after the war, military pilots were given many assignments to maintain flying proficiency. Lieutenant Morgan flew Forest Patrol, Border Patrol, Air Mail, gunnery spotter for the coastal guns protecting the Panama Canal, aerial recruiter by dropping leaflets from his plane, landing in a field, and giving rides to prospective young men, and was a demonstration pilot for a squadron in California due to his aerobatic skills. Military pilots were not required to fly with parachutes until 1922. In the later 30s, he became the Director of Flying and Academic Training for the Army Air Corps at Randolph Field. This time period was during the Air Corps expansion prior to World War II. The pilot training program was significantly increased to meet the needs for the coming war. He is credited with suggesting the use of civilians to relieve the Air Corps of the burden of providing primary pilot training This opened the door for training of the Tuskegee Airmen, who would have otherwise been kept out of a segregated military. At the beginning of World War II, Colonel Morgan was given his choice of going to Washington or coming to Harlingen to build an airfield for training aerial gunners and command it during the war. He chose to come here to Harlingen, and I know he was always happy with that decision. In the beginning, there was just Colonel Morgan and a civil engineer to oversee the project, which started with just open fields and a shack, which instantly became his headquarters. The movie Aerial Gunner was shot at the Harlingen Gunnery School and is probably one of the few visual depictions of aerial gunnery training. At the close of World War II, Colonel Morgan was reassigned from Harlingen and worked in the following assignments: Air Sea Rescue as commander of Keesler Air Force Base, in China with General Marshall while the U.S. was attempting to negotiate a peace settlement between the Communists and the Nationals, Inspector General in 5th Air Force in Japan, Inspector General of the Air Materiel Command in Patterson Field in Dayton, Ohio. His final assignment was as commander of Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo.